We'll go ahead and get started with some opening comments from Coach, and then we can take questions.
Well, I just got off my radio spot, and I wanted to make sure I thank the fans for how loud and energetic and how they were today. This place was unbelievable, and that's a credit to our fans. They obviously have supported us for all the time I've been here and well before, and I thought they were as loud as they've ever been today, and that was terrific. Regards to the game, extremely physical. We'll have to maybe run the training room out of ice after the game, but I thought guys, specifically in the second half, stepped up and answered the bell, so to speak. We were much better in the paint. Obviously got to the free throw line a bunch, try to be more or convert more of those opportunities into more points, but and then also only one turnover in the second half. So that was more like how this team is, and then they Showalter, I thought, did a pretty good job, even though Trimble gets 27. He had to work extremely hard. Foul trouble. Guys off the bench did a great job of helping us. Obviously, Brevin came in and was able to chase Herter around and do that. But other guys, Khalil on Trimble, all kinds of help that maybe doesn't get noticed or doesn't have a stat in the box score. Those things were all very important, specifically when we had to battle through that much foul trouble. So, great team win. Proud of our guys. Mark's got a heck of a team, as I thought when I saw him back in November early, that nobody was talking about them, but they were going to be pretty good. And obviously you got a player like Trimble to build around, and those three freshmen are pretty good, but they've obviously grown throughout the year. So this is a heck of a win for us, and guys played well.
Jeff.
Greg, I mean, the numbers that Happ and Hayes put up are obvious, but I'm just curious what you thought Bronson, Trice, and especially Pretzel gave you today in terms of timely plays, whether it's a shot, a rebound, a cut, things like that.
Yeah, and obviously Brevin with 5 offensive rebounds, and I'm not so sure we didn't score on all 5 ones. And there were obviously at least one putback that was down in front of me. Remember specifically the others, whether we scored on that possession or not, but he gave us some energy. I thought the matchup for him chasing around Herter was good. They were almost clones of each other, so that was good. Trice, I thought, again, not knowing how Bronson was going to be, was he going to be able to go? We planned as if he wasn't going to go yesterday, even though he practiced with us. I knew Trice would be ready to go, so that's the way I needed it. I couldn't wallow in indecision, so I decided yesterday Trice was going to start regardless, and Bronson came in, did a good job, and they kind of counterpunched with each other a little bit, and the rest of them, like I said, Khalil, even though the numbers don't show, I thought defensively he did some good things, and we had to play him at the 4 at one point in time, so and Hayes at the 5. So, like I said, everybody had a hand in the outcome.
Jim.
Greg, it's hard to measure urgency sometimes, but did you see that quality out of your team after halftime?
Well, I mean, if you just look at numbers, 3 for 13 in the paint in the first half, 11 for 17 in the second half. I'm not a mathematician, but I know that's a lot better. So that helped. We finished around the rim. We didn't fade away. We went strong through people. We drew fouls, and that's when we do it. That makes us really good. And when threes go down, and that will happen, then we start to sparkle and shine. But we have to find other ways. And we've always been a program that wants to pound it inside, regardless. And taking care of the ball was also a big thing the second half, too. To be able to go through the half and have one turnover, and I'm not sure what it was. Anybody know? Nobody in the locker room knew. At least nobody wanted to admit they had it. But I'll find it on film. But, I just thought we played more mature second half. Maybe we grew up in the 15 minutes we sat in the locker room. I don't know. Because the first half we were getting the ball to the right spot, but the production wasn't what it needed to be. Bronson got stripped.
On the sideline.
Opposite you guys.
Kind of got pushed away from him, and then he chased. It might not be
Okay.
Tom.
Greg, Nigel said he wanted to be more assertive. I gathered you wanted him to be more assertive. Did you get what you wanted out of him tonight?
I think in the second half specifically, he was 2 for 7 in the first half, so he goes 4 for 8, but he went to the foul line, a lot more. He did what he does well. I mean, that's what he's good at. He's a matchup problem. If he put a smaller, lighter guy on him, he's got enough power and strength and size to go through people. If you put a bigger guy on him, he can counter and spin, and he's such a willing passer too. He finds guys, and I mean that pass to Hap, or Hap snuck in behind on the double team. I mean, his vision, his IQ, he understands the game. If he wants to be a coach, he'll be a good one day, because he sees things the way I see him, and for how he sees the game. He's very astute in that regard, and he's unselfish. So he wants to win. He doesn't care really about the other stuff. He just wants to win, and sometimes it's not pretty, but the kid wants to win. So he was able to help in a huge way the second half.
And Bronson had 9 in the second half. What does it do for you when his shots started going in? He had 1-3, but he had a couple of
some pull-ups. Yeah, I mean that puts a lot more pressure on the defense. Takes some pressure off us of having to score all the time in the paint. And he made plays. I thought the ball screen was something we were going to utilize quite a bit in this game based on what we had seen on film. And we've got 2 guys specifically in Koenig and Trice Trice is getting a lot better with it, and guys are starting to figure out that he throws the ball pretty hot, so you better be ready, because he's going to find you. And they were both able to make some plays in there. We missed a lot of opportunities in the first half too. He had a refusal of a ball screen and got to the rim. Talking about Trice, and I think even Koenig got there once and missed one in the second half. But that helps. Anytime you can make a play in that mid-range area, that puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
In front.
Down to your left. Obviously, free throws were a big advantage for you guys tonight. Does it worry you that still this team struggles to make them? I think you guys hit 57% tonight.
What, I mean, I lose sleep? Or, I mean, no. They practice them. We practice them. They know it. And they'll stand in practice and shoot it pretty well. Pretty soon we're going to end up looking like the locker room from Major League, where we have the candles and the oil and all this garlic around our neck. Hey, just step to the line and make the free throws. It's not that. Yeah, 2 guys that get there the most have a hard time with it being consistent. They know it, and I don't need to browbeat them about it. They work on it. They spend maybe more time than anybody else at it, more time away from practice. So it's not like it's a hidden secret, but I also don't. I can't yell them into doing it better. We work on some technique things, trying to be consistent with your delivery, and sometimes the heat of the moment, also you forget about that element. Heart's pounding, 17,000 are screaming. You just had to, work for a while. You're worn out, and tense moment. So I don't know. I don't want to try to make it a bigger deal of it than what it needs to be. So we'll keep working at it. They'll keep working at it. They're committed to try to get better. So that's what we'll try to do.
Jim.
Greg, you made the call to leave Showalter in to start the second half with 3 fouls. Did you at all consider, sitting him first couple minutes?
No.
Okay, and I guess my next question is, he with 3 fouls could have lost some aggressiveness, and I didn't think he did in that first 5-8 minutes when he really took control of the game.
I've never seen Showalter lose aggressiveness. So sometimes he has too much. Like when I put him back in with 2, that was too much aggressiveness when he ran Trimble over. No, I never have to worry about a lack of aggressiveness with Showalter. It's more the other way. So no, he's been there. He's a 5th-year guy. He's been in the moments. You got to trust experience, and that's why I went with a lot of those older guys, specifically in the front line, the second half, because when it was tight there, and I got to go with guys that are more comfortable in those avenues, and again, to have to balance, foul trouble, putting at one point, Iverson at the 4, which we've done some in practice and we've done some other games, just giving us a little different look. But I thought it helped us a little bit at times defensively. We were a little more mobile and quicker, specifically when we were trying to get a blanket on Trimble, which we kind of did, but kind of not.
Tony.
Just over the past week, it seems Ethan has really adjusted to seeing more double teams, especially today, almost like he was sensing them and getting rid of the ball before they were able to double. Has he changed anything in the film room or on the practice court to kind of anticipate that, or is that just after a season of
making better decisions, working on it at practice? We work on it specifically in our shoot around on game days. So no, just making better decisions, understanding, using some different pivots, opening up, seeing the floor. But he also can be a playmaker from there too, which he's done at times. To pull people out. You want to commit 2 people to chase him around. He's also astute enough to attack or skilled enough to attack, get his feet in the paint and find people. And so it's nothing magical. He's just worked at it, and he's done a better job of making decisions coming out of it.
Brian?
Right over here. These were two first-place teams playing, and a couple weeks ago, obviously, the selection committee had its own perspective on the Big Ten. What do you hope, or do you wonder what a game like this is worth then, or what it means?
What's it worth? It means we were able to stay in a tie for now, with Purdue, and a lot of basketball left to be played. I don't worry about how any committee views anything. I can't control it, so I don't lose any sleep about things that I really don't have imminent control over. So, hey, it was a heck of a college basketball game. That's what I hope people appreciate, not fast forward always to what's going to happen in the selection room or what's going to happen in March. Appreciate this game for what it was, because this was a really good game between two pretty good teams.
Coach, you brought up the crowd being into it, and Pretzel seemed to fire them up. How did he fire up the team as well to get that energy going?
Well, he played hard. He was aggressive. He was active on the glass. So 2 for 4. I know he'll probably lose sleep over those 2 missed free throws. I don't know if I've ever seen him miss a free throw, but he brought some energy. He was fresh. He was, like I said, a good matchup for him defensively too, and he's getting better. It's been, I wish I could have taken these steps 2 months ago, but he's starting to consistently, better and better every day. He's practiced better, and having Bronson back allowed us to play the ball in Bronson's hands, the ball in Trice's hands. And Michigan, I didn't have Bronson, so then Hill had to do a little bit more primary ball handling as a third point guard with Koenig down. So, we mix and match a little bit, and then also matchups and who plays well. But see, Brevin, like all of our guys, really are more worried about the team than what their individual status happens to be.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.